and it looks like our match is starting right up.
It is. So we are underway here.
And let's see what this matchup is. Actually, I haven't looked at it yet.
Well,
Okay, so it is.
I see show and tell things.
Yep. That's you hit a what's it called? You flip a coin, you're gonna find a show and tell in this event.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is, to be honest with you, extremely surprising because show and tell has been on the down for pretty much a month and a half, maybe even longer. It's just not performing as well as we thought it was on the Adder, and like it might just be a tournament deck.
Yeah. Are we on video, Tyrant?
We are not on video, but the game is.
That's what I mean. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we get a keep here from Gaffer. Resaru on the other side, I think, took a mulligan as well. Looks like.
Someone in chat just brought it up. A very good thing that might happen with show and tell in a couple of other formats. Well, in a couple of other decks. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the Through the Ages for Final Fantasy, but have you seen the cards we've been getting for Timeless?
No.
One of those cards is Carpet of Flowers.
I am familiar with the card.
Have you played with that card before?
I have played against it once.
Yes. So I would not be surprised if we see that in these formats because we have the Esper Tempo deck. We have a bunch of blue-based decks that exist that we can just get a mana advantage off of. And they all want to be playing Ions because of Mystic Sanctuary. So they're already
That's right.
Our opponents are already maximizing on those.
So this looks like Oops versus Show and Tell. So this could be a quick old match here, Fred.
Yeah, good. It might be. There's mana draining stuff involved. There's none in this hand.
Sure. I see a Veil of Summer.
Yeah, and look, they didn't get turn 1.
No, they did not get turn 1.
And they did not
or turn 2 for that matter.
Yeah, and they did not get an Oops creature off of their Once Upon a Time.
Correct, that's true. They got a Bogart Trawler.
Yeah, so it could be at the moment it's anybody's game. And I do really like this question of if they want to get this Brainstorm or not. If they need it. Because this turn 2 now they just find the mana drain off the top.
Yep. Easy. Just draw it.
Just draw it.
Kill issue.
The question is here though, they are in a bit of an awkward spot. Because on turn 2 they can hold up mana drain, or they can play a Tapia and Teachings. If they hold up the mana drain, they can't hold up mana drain and Veil of Summer next turn. So they can go Grief into Scam. But
the Soren's gonna eat a mana drain.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to.
Now, how close to just
what do you
game are we? Actually, not that close. It's an awkward hand.
Yeah, it's a very awkward hand.
Like this 3 colorless mana might just eat it. It doesn't look like you could Waterlog Teachings for something, but
I mean,
I don't know that helps you all that much.
Yeah, is Teachings an instant? Can you Teachings in the Teachings?
Teachings, I believe, is in.
Well, I mean, you can Teachings in the Teachings and hold up Veil of Summer. The reason for that is for dig through time and stuff.
Going for the Assemble here.
Yeah. I mean, you pick up the Show and Tell, right?
Oh wait, no, because you can get a land and then you can Teachings, or you can just get the Show and Tell.
Yeah. Well, you can. What I was saying is you can Teachings in the Teachings and play the Teachings at the end. Is what I was going to say. But
nothing from the other side is.
Yeah, this game might just be over here.
I think it might be.
Because this is game 1, so I don't imagine they have anything in the.
Yeah, what would the hesitation here to firing off Show and Tell be?
This might be the mono back skit. The mono back Oops deck. Is it?
Oh
no, that's just Oops. Oh. I mean, look, that probably doesn't win them the game.
Yeah, that's fair. Seek can find
because they take 3/6. They take 12 here.
Yeah, so we're gonna get Brainstorm. All of this with the Dostrate Spy on the stack.
Actually, what is it called? Creeping Chill targets, does it not?
I don't remember.
I believe
it's a really good question.
Because if Creeping Chill targets, then Veil of Summer stops it. Right?
True.
Yes, it should stop it.
It probably does. It almost has to target.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it does because I think I've targeted it before.
Okay. I was gonna say, you've probably played this.
I have actually not played Oops before.
Oh, that's surprising.
So I have combo decks. Don't get me wrong, but I have combo decks where I get to move stuff around. And Oops does that a good bit.
Creeping Chill does not target. Creeping Chill deals 3 damage to each opponent and you
Okay.
gain 3 life.
Yeah. So Valor Summer doesn't stop it.
Nope. So I guess that was the hesitation to show and telling, is that you just put the combo in play. Very smart from Raisaru to not play their Balustrade Spy.
I mean, Balustrade is a 4-drop. They could have put it.
Well, you're right. It's a 4-drop. I'm thinking it's 3.
There's a 3-mana one that exists that has the ability that activates and does Balustrade Spy's target. That's the one you're thinking.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. They're both banned in Pioneer, right?
Yep. Balustrade Spy and something Informal. Darkstreet Informal, something like that.
Okay. Yep. Dark
See,
City
I've played
Informer
that
is
first.
Okay.
I've
So
played that
Traxa here is going to get Omniscience, Seek.
They probably win
Assemble,
you because 2
Misty.
Assembles and a Seek probably just gets them there.
You would have to think. Second Omniscience for fun. Yeah, you'd have to think that these get them there.
Yeah, because you probably just get this Atraxa again. Atraxa.
Well, this is a Wishboard one too. There is a Masterminds acquisition in the deck. It was in their opening hand.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're just gonna do Hullbreaker Hall and Fieko Atraxa a bunch of times.
Okay.
And then draw the whole deck. Yeah, so this is going to win. This is why these decks play Hullbreaker Hall, and plus just
that makes sense.
You can manage if you mana drain something, you can just hard cast the hole. It's not the worst thing.
That makes sense. Assemble finds Demonic Tutor, and now we're live.
Yep.
Bounce the Balustrade Spy.
Demonic Tutor for Mastermind.
Yeah, Tutor for yeah. Tutor for Wish.
Did they play Anders? Yeah.
And there's the approach.
Yep. You get so the funny thing is here, they could have made this faster. They could have cast it and then played Veil, someone with it on the stack, bounced it back to the hand, and then cast it again.
Oh, that's funny.
Approaches that doesn't kill if it resolved the first time. It just kills if it's got cast twice.
That's quite funny. So the second approach will end the game here. It was funny to see the Balustrade Spy coming off the show and tell, but Gaffer had enough action to play around the enabling your opponent's combo,
and
which effectively they did.
I'm gonna say I have to assume that what's it called? This version of show and tell is just what's it called? Eats this what I got between the spell pierces, if he even wants to bring in the commandeers, and the
probably
thought seizers.
Yeah,
I imagine you bring in these commandeers, or at least one of them to grab up for teachings.
Probably right. What do you take out though? You take out. I don't know. The problem with sideboarding with decks like this is they're always just so tight.
Yeah.
You take out the fatal pushes. You don't need the fatal pushes.
Yeah, you take off the fatal pushes, and then you take out all 3 fatal pushes. You take out probably seek through the knowledge is the next one.
Okay.
It depends on their list on whether or not you take out the Born of the Wind.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, you take out the Born of the Wind, too.
Commandeers are coming in.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, so you take out Born, Seek, fatal pushes, and that's 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, and they need one more cut. I don't know what the last cut would be.
Here go the pushes. Keeping the tank on the old sideboarding.
Well, like I said, that last card is more what the question is. Like I said, personally, I'd make Born and Seek are the worst cards in your deck.
They got the mana drains.
That's an aggressive choice, I will say. I don't think I agree with that choice.
You know what? On the draw, I think I do.
That's a fair one.
On the draw, I think that's right. On the play, I think I think Gaffer's likely to put them back in. But on the draw, I don't think they do a lot. They're just too slow.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. This isn't the Mox. What's it called? Chrome Mox one. So yeah, you can't tone 1 hold up. And this hand's good. It's awkward but good.
Yeah, you don't want to draw. Yeah. Oh, you do want to draw the Omniscience because you need to show and tell it into play. That was the.
Well, so yeah, different deck. But the awkward part here is the land base with this Thoughtseize and Valve symbol.
You're right. That's very true because they can.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
they're
broken. I
pitching
guess
it.
it's just too awkward.
This hand's not much better.
I would say this hand's worse
Yeah,
because they only have the one hand, and they have to play the brainstorm on one.
they would have to play the brainstorm, and then they can't put back whatever it is. Yeah, they're keeping this one though. I guess on the draw, you get another shot. Like
Yeah,
if you hit another land, you're good. I
I
think.
think the game even before I see this, I think the one hand is better.
Oh, there's a
Um,
grief, so that's really gonna mess things up here.
hmm So the Veil Summer wasn't going to do anything anyway.
Yeah,
So I think they're supposed to take the brainstorm here.
I
Yeah,
think you're 100% taking the brainstorm. Let's see if this is just like a.
it could be them because they could
This
be.
could just be game over too.
Yep, they could
You
just
gotta
take.
reanimate here.
And then they take the show and tell.
Yep.
And I think that's it. Up. I mean, if you're gonna
Bro-
draw
Oh,
anything, it's not a end. That's one.
Yeah, but again, it's awkward. You got to crack the Misty.
Yeah, no, it's awkward no matter what. But yeah, it's the second best draw in their deck.
Yeah, that's right.
The first one's AM, the second one's Brainstorm. Because they're going to play a Civilian here, and then what's it called? And then if they don't hit their hand drop, they get a Brainstorm.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. Yeah, you don't have to cast the brainstorm right away. The other thing this does is kind of make your hand grief proof a little bit.
A little bit, but I don't think if you worry about that at this point.
No, just a
They may be
consideration.
dead
We'll
here.
see.
This 4 mana cast a spy.
Yeah, 4 mana cast a spy is probably just death. You have nothing.
They must have drawn it for turn. Because otherwise they would have just done this last turn.
Right. You're right. No free interaction here. So yeah, just sacrificing to spy. Gonna basically be game here. I don't think there's anything that they can do about this.
So one thing that really amazed me about this event versus our Astar 1K that we did for time is, do you know what deck that was pretty popular Astar that did not show up at all this time?
No, what didn't show up?
Demir Frog or Espo Frog.
There's no frog in
I
Spirit
don't
at all.
believe
Really?
there's any frog at all. I'll double check.
That's very surprising.
Because there was one person who registered and then changed it last minute. Yeah, no tempo at all.
Wow.
And so like, that threw me off as far as like deck choices are this event. And like show and tell.
It's so funny because you'd have to like that. I think if you're the tempo deck, you probably like your show and tell matchup a little bit.
It's a weird matchup. It's a very hard matchup. And it very much depends on which version of show and tell they're playing.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so we're gonna go to game 3 here as the Silver Smoke Ghouls have come into play. The Creeping Chills have all gone,
We've done the math.
we've chilled, we've ghouled, we've gone to game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what the side we're playing is. We'll see if the mana drains come back in now on the play.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if there's ever a question of whether or not you bring in the toxic behaviors. I know they're awkward, but if your opponents
Tyrant, they were brainstorming to try to find the commandeer.
Yep, that makes sense. That's their one thing. I forgot about commandeer.
That was the one out. I did too. So 2 mana drains come back in.
You're good. I don't hate that. I think that's fine.
I don't hate that either.
I think I buy your point of on the draw. They just don't do anything.
No, they're just so slow. All right, so on the play for Gaffer for game 3 here, let's see. Both decks trying to win. Well, the show and tell deck is a little complicated.
Yeah.
Victory path, but the Balustrade Spy is very straightforward. We're getting a mulligan. This hand is not good.
The
but I think you gotta keep it.
The second hand's fine.
Is it? You think so?
Because
I guess you just fetch away. Yeah, okay, you're right. It is.
You can fetch away other stuff and play this Dig Do Time. It's not a showy hand.
Okay, so what do you do here? Do you Thoughtseize or hold up Spell Pierce?
Thoughtseize.
You Thoughtseize first?
Mm-hmm. Because Spell Pierce, what is it called? Spell Pierce doesn't stop a grief. Thoughtseize does.
You're right. You're right. Very good point. I forgot about grief, even though we just saw it.
Yeah, all good.
Griefless hand. This would have been the Spell Pierce hand, I think. No, grief is in there. Never mind.
Yeah, they play grief. They play grief here.
Yeah.
I think you toss the body tutor for grief to the opponent if they got to their turn. I know that's weird.
No, I think you're right.
Because if you draw a hand, you just win the game off of this spy.
You're right.
You have to
Well,
take refill because the
the
spell pierce checks the dark ritual.
it does, but the other problem is if Raisaru just top decks Sorin,
I mean, if they talk back, there's nothing you can do.
you're right.
Yeah, if they hit their what is it called? Their 1 in 50, 56 card, 58 cards. Oh, not 58.
Yeah, you're
I don't
right.
know math. 56. It happens.
The
Of
only other
course.
thing with this grief is there's not a reanimate. It would just take one card.
Yeah, but later on they could if what's it called? If something happened, like say you pierced the dark ritual, they could they take the dark ritual.
Taking the dark
Okay.
ritual.
I guess that.
So they're okay with losing this dig through time to a grief.
Mm-hmm.
Is what that's saying. They're not even firing it off. No,
Yeah.
Brainstorm changes this equation a lot.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is a very different game now.
Yeah. Nothing from the other side. So we're gonna get the Brainstorm fired off.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a show and tell and 2 fetches. You're to put the fetches back on top, shuffle those away. Don't need
Yep.
those.
Play a Civilian.
Yep. There's already a lot of cards in the bin too. This dig's gonna be live pretty soon.
They
Here.
have 5 cards in bin. They save this
Yeah.
one because they get a
Right.
fetch and put the 7th card in, or 6th card in,
Right.
and still hold up the spell pierce.
And hold up the spell piercer. Right. That's huge. This is looking really good for Gaffer, who does have the show and tell in hand too.
Are they going? Okay. I don't think they need to hold up the spell pierce. I think this is fine, but like it's
So
a-
end step, I feel like there's not a lot that happen.
yeah.
So acquisition's weird. You can't really bin it.
You can bin it. It's not fine. It's
Can
not.
you?
Yeah, because you have Mystic Sanctuaries.
Oh, you're right.
I don't know how many years this is on, but you have at least one Mystic Sanctuary that we've seen.
Victor Time shows 2 fetches, a sanctuary, a commandeer, a brainstorm, a horror, and a masterminds acquisition. So
I think it's Commandeer Horror. It's either Commandeer Horror or Commandeer Ant, I think.
you could. Oh, you have another Victor Time in hand, and you don't have any cards left in bin to cast it.
Yeah.
You're not probably.
I think though I think Commandeer you have to take. Just in fact of the Soin. I think it's Commandeer
Yeah.
Horror. Because you
Yeah, it
could
looks like-
okay, they did Horror Ant. Because I was gonna say you can
Or-
just show and tell the Horror and keep up spell pierce and
Okay.
provide a clock.
Second show and tell wasn't great.
Yep.
I don't think you do want to show and tell the horror because.
Oh, they could spy. Yeah, they could spy. I forgot about spy.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't
Magic's
fire off
hard.
that show and tell unless you're sure you're winning.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the place they all.
Oh, I agree. All of a sudden, there's a lot riding on this spell
Yeah.
pierce.
One card engraved.
The spell pierce kind of has to carry.
I mean, they have one hand. Yeah, it doesn't have to try that hard.
It doesn't, but there's just a lot of tension on a
Oh, that spell pierce is
card
going
like
away.
that. Uh-oh.
Or the horror is.
Yeah.
See a spell pierce of horror. I think they take a horror here because you can Mystic Sanctuary the spell pierce if you want to, or it fuels the dig through time. Where like you really don't want to exile your horror.
So if they take spell pierce here, it means they have like reanimate.
Yeah. Well, what I was saying is, but they take they took spell pierce. Taking the dig through time is
So they-
kind of weird.
They took
weird.
dig.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took dig.
I
No,
know-
I like it because now they're stuck on this hand that just doesn't do a lot.
That's fair.
You can't just show and tell the horror into play because that puts the spy or the Elenda into play. Well, now does Atraxa change much?
No, because if they put a Yendra into play, they're playing
Right,
a guessing
yeah.
game. And if they
Yeah.
ever cast a spell again after the Yendra, you get to just bounce the Yendra to hand. I think
There's the
that wins the game.
Yeah. That's right.
Because you show and tell the Omniscience, play the Horror, play Atraxa.
Yeah,
play a show
this
and
is
tell
now-
again. And then Fico Atraxa again. Draw 15 cards, it feels like. Minimum. I can't
Unless
be
there's some crazy.
The other thing, well, they don't have the mana. Well, they can do a Indra. I forget this. They could have done a Indra, and the only way you get
It's
punished.
Progenitus.
No, because that doesn't even punish. Um,
No, it doesn't. It's just funny.
well, no. So if they put in a Endra, they can hit a disenchant. Is what I was saying. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, they don't have the mana for it.
Well, it's free. It's free because of Endra.
Right. Okay. I thought it'll end up added to hand. Okay.
It does. It
I got
adds the
you.
hand and it makes it free for the Torn. For the Torn that I introduced.
Interesting. Okay, so now we're looping in tracks. This game's over. Gaffer winning that one. You have to think if Rysar drew a second land that they might have been able to win that game.